my name is Brittany Kraft and I'm a registered dietitian with Ochsner's Eat Fit North Shore. For this week's Eat Fit DIY, we're going to be making wilted kale and roasted cauliflower risotto. This is a recipe from the Dakota Restaurant right here in Covington, and it's featured in the Eat Fit Cookbook. It sounds like it could be a complicated recipe, but it's actually pretty easy to pull together using very basic pantry ingredients. One of the neat things about this recipe is that it uses cauliflower instead of regular rice, so we're actually going to make riced cauliflower as our very first step. If you would prefer to purchase cauliflower that is already made into a rice shape, you can do that. Fresh would be best for this recipe, but you can also find it in the freezer section in steamable bags, so that would work too. For us, we're going to start with fresh cauliflower that I've chopped up, and then we're going to put it in the food processor to make some cauliflower rice. When making your own riced cauliflower, it's important to have a food processor and then also to make use of the pulse function. So we want to pulse it a few times until we get that grainy rice-shaped look. If you blend it too often or too much, you might get a little bit of a mushy result. So we want to just be real careful with that. So we'll pulse a few times until we get the texture we're looking for. Our cauliflower is looking great. This is what we're looking for as your finished riced cauliflower result. It really should resemble just regular white rice. The first thing we're going to start with is 1 tablespoon of light olive oil. I have a skillet heating over the stove over medium-high heat, so we'll go ahead and get that oil warmed up as well. Okay, my oil is ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and add all of my cauliflower. So I saved about 2 cups of cauliflower rice. I'm going to go ahead and put that in with the oil so that we can start caramelizing it. The other thing that we're going to add to our skillet at this point is 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. If you have any leftover cauliflower, that's totally fine. I had some extra leftover riced cauliflower. I just put it in a bag to freeze, and we'll use it for another recipe for another time. So we're just going to keep cooking that cauliflower and garlic mixture until it's nice and caramelized. So you are using a fairly high heat at this point. And one of the great things about this recipe is that we are using cauliflower instead of rice, so that's a really great way to sneak some veggies in and then also to cut some carbs. Once your cauliflower and garlic mixture is nice and caramelized, it's starting to get a little browned, and I'm stirring constantly to make sure I don't have any burning going on. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat to medium and add 2 cups of chopped kale. We'll just stir that in until it's nice and wilted, and we can also season it now. So I'm going to add a mixture of salt and pepper. This is about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And just cook until wilted. We'll go ahead and add some more of our ingredients now. So I have 1/2 cup of vegetable broth we can add to our mixture. 1/2 cup of plain Greek yogurt. This is the 2% Greek, so it's a little bit higher fat. And we'll also be adding some fresh herbs at this point. So we have 1/2 teaspoon of fresh chopped basil and fresh chopped thyme and 1 teaspoon of parsley. If you don't have fresh, that's okay. You can use dried. A good conversion is you need about 1/3 of the dried. So if you're using 1 tablespoon of the fresh herb, you need 1 teaspoon of the dried herb. So use what you have, and we'll add all of those herbs to season it up and then mix to combine. Once everything is mixed and heated through, we can remove it from the heat, and then I've just added 1 tablespoon of butter, which I'm now mixing in to allow it to melt. And then our final ingredient will be 1/4 cup of fresh Parmesan. So this is shaved Parmesan, and we'll just sprinkle that over the top as a garnish. Another really great garnish would be more fresh herbs. Okay, so that's what it looks like, your finished product. You can find more recipes just like this in the Eat Fit Cookbook and on the Eat Fit smartphone app. We hope you enjoy it. If you make it, please tag us at Eat Fit North Shore or use the hashtag EatFitDIY. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week on our Eat Fit DIY segment. Bye!